I've got my mini briefcase.
Oh,
Makes me
so professional.
It makes me feel bigger. I'm 6 foot tall while I'm holding it.
Your hands definitely look bigger.
So if you were a corporate shill with that mini briefcase, what job would corporate Alex do?
I am a taxidermist, and that is my kit, my tools to fix your taxied derms.
So you do home visits for that?
Oh,
do you just find animals on the street and?
No, it's all home. There's no overhead on having a lease in an office. We come to you.
That's nice. I like the fact that I asked if you had a corporate job and your brain went to taxidermy.
That could be a corporate job. There could be a whole office dedicated to that business.
Can you just imagine like some mid-level manager in the taxidermy corporation going, "Now, Bob, we need to talk about your numbers. You're not stuffing enough beavers lately, and we really need you to pump those numbers up."
Flashback to when he was a kid. You got to stuff them beavers, son, if you want to come back inside. Flashback. We understand
now. Just like slowly dragging your feet in the front door of your home, holding your mini briefcase, going, "It was another tough one at the old taxidermy."
Well, in a briefcase that small, I mean, you must be doing small animals then too.
Rodents and vermin mostly.
Yeah.
Could also be like a ventriloquist dummy kit via John Malkovich. Tiny door, tiny briefcase. Being John Malkovich, I feel like. Has anyone seen that movie?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
You wanted a different reaction from us, though? I'm sorry. Can you show us what the reaction should have been, just so in the future, when you do an obscure movie reference, I know what to do?
What a brilliant reference.
So, complete ego stroke. Understood.
That's it. That's all it is.
Understood.
It's just a nice stroke. That's what I would like.
That's what he said.
Hey, Nick.
Well, gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast. Shall we get this show on the road? We got two guys and another guy here. We got Marty, table for two, Wadsworth. We've got Alex, taxidermist. What's your last name again?
You just make one up. It starts with a K and ends with a who cares.
Galifianakis.
Yeah.
And of course, me.
Yeah. Can I just take a moment to thank Nick, America's sweetheart Nick, who's in the comments right now, for filling in last week. He did a fantastic job. And yes, Nick, to answer your question, that is exactly what it feels like to be number 2 Becky on the Roseanne.
Yeah, like how did that work on the reboot? Did they both get invited back? Do you guys know?
Yeah, so original Becky came back to play Becky, and then replacement Becky, who was also what's the blonde girl's name on Scrubs? Yeah, she came back as a potential surrogate adopt mother situation. So she wanted Becky's child for a lump sum of money.
That's very like meta. Like she wants her daughter back, essentially.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
everyone's trying to just have scripts that are mind blowing.
Not us.
Not us.
Smart.
Today we're talking about the Olympics.
The Olympics, you say?
Yeah, you guys like the Olympics? You guys watch?
Sure.
It?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know that behind the Super Bowl, the Olympics have the strongest and most stringent copyright rules. So I don't even know if we're allowed to be saying the Olympics right now.
What should we call it? Should we give it a nickname?
The games, the summer games is usually what people in the biz refer to it as.
I was gonna call it the 5 rings. Is that too many steps?
I think it's too many rings.
What?
How many rings do they got?
There's 5. I'm just stating my opinion. I think it's too many rings.
I think we can call it the Olympics.
I believe that convention is held in Vegas every year. So, yeah.
And different rings.
I have one. Thank you.
Anywho, so I'm the other. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, my wife loves the Olympics. She likes watching like the opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies, and I always thought the opening ceremonies it's kind of long, and there's a lot of
it's sports graduation, right? It's like a high school graduation, but for just athletes. So there's a long walking progression for maybe 2 hours as they seat all the athletes before they get to the actual stuff you want to see, which is the show and the pageantry put on by that hosting nation's usually children. They some sort of child labor situation where it's like, hey, you hold these flags and we're going to shoot fireworks 5 feet from your face, but it's going to be amazing broadcast TV. So I can't stand the beginning of the opening ceremony. It's so bad, right? Like, am I the only one? It's just like, and here we have delegates from the fantastic country of Mongolia. Fun fact: this is one of 7 people that live in the nation. So good for them.
I always like to see those.
Look at that! They've got flags. They're carrying their flags.
Yeah.
I always like to see those countries that have like one person competing, and so like there's just one person walking with the flag. They're so proud.
No, they're so proud. Talk about a true underdog story, Bob. So and so here holding the flag, representing their nation. Of course, they're only here because 12 people were disqualified for performance-enhancing drugs at the trials, but good for them.
I was going to go bus crash, so yours was way more gentle.
They can't bring up the bus crash on NBC. I'm sorry, I got way into it there. Did anybody else have any thoughts on?
No, I think I agree. Where like when Jordan said that his wife thinks that's the best part of it, like that's probably the part I tune out the most. Where I'm just like I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Obviously, everyone should get their moment to raise their hand and say I'm here. But like 4 hours of it, like. Could you like even the announcers at the end are just like, what are you gonna do tonight after this is over? Are you kidding? I'm gonna sleep. Like this was a full day.
Right. No, it feels equivalent to like a blowout in baseball for the broadcast team, right? So it's 18-3 in the 8th inning. There's no way the other team's coming back, and they're filling time so hard. And what they're at a disadvantage during the opening ceremonies when all the athletes are walking in is you can't truly build those storylines. There's no cutaway like American Idol where it's like the athlete in front of the screen going, oh, I've struggled so hard and my mom drove me for 4 hours 3 times a week and the tear rolls down. That's the only reason I'm here. You can't do that because they're just.
Marty, is she wearing Crocs? Are those Crocs?
They are, and if you look closely, if we could zoom in on those Crocs, they are the colors of the nation. Can you believe that?
Look at that.
Sponsored by Crocs. No, but I mean that's why the actual competition is such brilliance, because when you get to the actual games, now they are building those storylines, and there's so much kind of trepidation on your part because now you're pot invested, right? You know the struggle of the athlete. You know the odds of either if they're supposed to win or they have no chance of winning. So now basically it's a worldwide March Madness where you're rooting for the underdog, you're rooting against who's supposed to win, and the storylines are just dripping all over the place because they get to hop from sport to sport to sport to sport. That's why it works so well.
Cool. Let's segue into that. Those events. Let's name some events and let's play some wrong answers only. I'm going to give us a subcategory. The category is let's name some events. Wrong answers only that are in the water.
In the water.
In the water. So
Got
water
it.
sports. Wrong answers only. What are some events?
Fart bubbles.
Fart bubbles? Is that what you said?
You have to put the word competitive in front of it. So try again, Jordan.
I'm sorry. Competitive fart bubbling.
Mm-hmm. How is that judged? Just FYI, real quick.
Well,
Criteria.
There's a few different criteria. There's the quietest.
Mm-hmm.
There's the longest bubbles,
Mhm.
longest consecutive bubbles, and then there's the stinkiest.
Oh, the silent but deadly. I
Mhm.
mean, that would be the gold.
I like that.
Does the bronze, is the bronze actually first place? It's brown.
Yeah. The
This
brown
was an event years ago. It's been banned recently, but competitive whaling was very popular for quite a while.
one. Now, whaling. How do you spell that?
Do you want the country of origin?
Well, it's either between two animals wailing, or it's singing, right? Like that's the two different types it could be. Is one is bestiality, I believe.
Yeah, you guys are both being a couple of Moby Dicks right now.
Oh, Captain.
My captain.
Nick in the comments has synchronized peeing. I love that answer.
I'm gonna go
Wait.
grandma chucking
Into water?
in the water. Yeah.
So is it like diving scoring where it's like you're going for biggest splash or tiniest splash, or does she survive? Are there different platforms? Like, is there a 15 meter, a 5 meter? Are you going for distance? I'm still going, Alex. Are you going for distance? Are you going for clothed grandma? Is she in a bathing suit? Does she get to take her wig off? Does she put a swim cap on? There's so many questions.
Is
for
Danny
competitive
DeVito
grandma
starring this?
It's amount of time it takes to get out of the water. That's the barometer for winning. Is the quickest grandma loses. The longest one, that's the one that wins. So it's a terrifying event for the grandmas that try to play. Don't help me. I'm actually supposed to be under here.
Right.
But there's always someone on hand.
Fun fact for competitive grandma tossing into pools, it's the only water event where the lifeguards are actually needed at the Olympics.
But they're
Right?
here not to help.
Mm-hmm. They are.
There's a towel that gets thrown in when it's time.
Those are all good events. Why don't we make those events happen? I think we start a petition.
Now, how about we shift from the water sports to land?
Land sports. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with competitive jeeping. So it's very similar to one of the newest Olympic events, which is sport climbing. They're introducing sport climbing this year for the first time ever at the Olympics. Competitive jeeping works the same way. You have boulders, you have rocks. You're trying to climb and pose and position the best way you can in your jeep. Primarily, they're Wrangler athletes, but a couple of other jeeps slip in there from time to time.
Beautiful. Yeah. I can't wait to watch that one. I heard they're going to introduce the this one's kind of a nice one. This is the competitive douchebagging.
Mm-hmm.
You heard this?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's similar to weightlifting, except you're just some douchebag and lifting weights?
So the criteria there, the shorter the shorts, the better. Number one, you have a cutoff tee where it's cut so hard in the tank that you can see at least one nipple, hopefully two. Grunting is not only encouraged, but required. And the key is you have to look at your phone for at least 5 to 10 minutes before doing one rep with the weight bar.
Yep.
Alex, do you have
I'm gonna go aggressive watermelon spitting, and that's not the seeds. That's the literal watermelon. They're the little ones, so don't worry. The smaller, the better. But the rule is it has to be the actual green part of the fruit.
Sure.
In which you spit.
My high school girlfriend would have been so good at that sport.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't have high school girlfriends. So.
I should call her. Your high school girlfriend. Next one is
Wait! Before we move on, in the comments, Segway jousting is an amazing suggestion. My only question is, what would the stick be that you would be jousting with?
Oh, I want it to be a lightsaber.
Yes. Oh, put some real steaks on the table. I like that.
I was thinking maybe angel hair pasta.
Mm-hmm. Cooked or uncooked?
Uncooked.
For sure.
I mean, you'd probably win with it uncooked over cooked.
See, this goes down to strategy. I mean, like, we're talking tomatoes, potatoes, because like if you had a wet noodle, like you could do a bunch of things with it besides just like poke somebody with your dry noodle. Because your dry noodle may break on my wet chest.
Oh, it most definitely will. Yeah.
Phrasing.
Grammar is important, kids.
For sure.
The next one is blindfolded, wrong answers only. One of the best blindfolded events. My first one would be sexting.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
I'd love to see what that comes out as.
What do we mean blindfolded events?
No, but you're blindfolded. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So sexted blindfolded sexting, I have to type without looking at my phone.
Correct.
So there's just going to be a lot of autocorrects.
Maybe
in the sexting.
I mean,
yeah.
that's going to be an interesting, and you got to see if you can get your partner to go.
Yeah, I'm going to be in a similar. I'm going to be in a similar category with my event, which is blindfolded. Guess your spouse. So you're blindfolded, and there's a line that just kind of walks by where you just, you just gotta figure out which one is mine.
Look at this, Bob. He's using his tongue. We've never seen this before.
That's the sign of a professional, right there. That is a seasoned veteran knows how to use his tongue. You
can tell he's put the hours in, Bob.
Oh yeah.
Really nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, he is spending a lot of time on this woman. She is 2 foot smaller than his actual wife. He is spending a lot of time really just checking this one over.
His wife looks like she's actually getting mad, Bob.
Yeah. Her arms are crossed. She has a pensive look on her face. She's tapping her foot. This is not going to end well.
Jordan?
Well, so competitive blindfolded ball grabbing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you need to expand just a little.
Well, it's similar
bit.
to the life thing. It's similar to the life thing, only it takes it and now you have to guess whose balls you're touching. Guess what,
Jordan? You just did my exact event, but you said balls.
Guess what kind of balls?
To be fair, his original thought was the blindfolding event was to blindfold someone. Like that was the original game that he had in mind. Was blindfolding. I'm sorry, Jordan.
No, it still works. Hey, Bob, he's licking the balls now. He's licking the ball. And let's see what happens. And he's taking his partner. All right.
Why is it he? Why not she?
I don't know, man. Shut up. You guys win.
This segment was brought to you by Olympic Pronouns. Olympic Pronouns. They're a thing now.
5 rings.
So what did we learn, guys? What did we learn there?
On that one? Not much.
Should we define blindfolding? Should we?
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's get into that.
The act of not being able to see, right?
Sure.
So I
Makes
guess
sense.
what I learned is the art of being able to use your other senses to succeed.
Oh.
Hmm.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I really have nothing to add. On that one, I'm sorry.
We learned nothing.
I didn't learn anything from that. I mean, I learned that Jordan really liked my idea and wanted to say balls.
They're more beautiful than you think.
They are.
Yep. Sponsored by Beer Daddy.
No, I think we'll see those events in the Olympics soon.
Agreed.
I mean, you gotta incorporate everyone. I mean, right now, come on.
Yeah, incorporating people like Jordan. If the Olympics could incorporate you, what event do you think like you would want to be a part of?
So now we're talking about actual events. What actual Olympic events?
Yeah, do we need a list? I mean, is that something, or do you have one in your head?
No, I mean, I know exactly what I would say. I mean, I
So
guess I
if
know
you-
how to take the conversation. Is I remember because you guys that did field day in elementary school or whatever, right? And
I was always second place.
I won first place in the high jump, and they gave me kudos because I did it different than anyone does the high jump. You know, most people they jump backwards, you know, kind of. I did Superman style. I jumped, and my mom has a picture of this, but I won first place doing it that way, and yeah. So for the longest time, I thought I was a pretty high jumper.
So just to clarify here, if we started when we were 4 and we put in the proper time, dedication, effort, and energy into this activity, you're telling me out of all of the Olympic sports, high jumping would be the one that you would be the best at.
It's what I would have thought I would have been the best at when I was 6 years old.
Understood.
Yeah, I
Understood.
feel like I would be like Danny Fogel, and I would be a professional ping pong player. And I'd have like the long curly hair, and I would like go out at night to like underground ping pong tournaments and like hustle people. Like, I don't know how to play ping pong. I don't know why I would talk like that. I don't know how to play ping pong. I don't know how to play ping pong.
Are you good at ping pong, Alex?
Why is Bobcat Thornthwaite playing ping pong? What is happening?
I don't know. But I feel like that would be because it'd be fun. It would be a game. You could make money. It would be like if we're putting our time into something, you know, it should be enjoyable, not just I got to get up and ice skate again in this leotard like Daddy wants me to.
Wait, you wouldn't wear a leotard to the ping pong championship?
Not again.
It's called a singlet.
Mm.
It's a different sporting uniform.
Yeah, I feel like you guys both missed the boat on this one
Mm-hmm.
by a long shot.
Of course.
I'm gonna give you the answer that is the most realistic. It's a sport that I think if I put in the time, effort, and energy that I could do well and still maintain a quality of life would be curling. I'm sorry. You can practice curling with a beer in your hand. It's basically overgrown darts or cornhole. Come on, it's curling. Curling.
Right. Yeah, it's
by
a bar game.
far.
Yeah.
The three of us could put a curling team together today, put in the proper time, effort, and energy, and we could be in 4 years on the ice.
100%. What spot would you want? Would you want to be the thrower, the sweeper?
Yeah, I'm sweeping. I'm hard. Out of the three of us, I'm sweeping for sure.
What do you call
Jordan,
it?
you're tossing. Alex, I feel like you'd be a good tosser too. Alex is a tosser. We all know that. And I'm hard with the stick. I'm hard with the stick.
Is there only there's two sweepers though, isn't there?
There can and should be, sure. So yeah.
Yeah, he's first chair.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to be yelled at from across the rink. People tell me how hard to sweep and stop sweeping.
They have a curling league just down the street from my house. You guys want to come practice?
Practice?
I mean, like beat up on a bunch of curlers.
I bet there is jargon, isn't there? You want to slap some pansies tonight? You know.
Yeah.
Tickle the discs.
Who's ready to grab some mounds?
Because mounds have nuts, joys don't.
That's right.
Back to the nut grabbing.
Always back to the nut grabbing.
All right, you guys want to do a little Judge Darling, or do you want to do you want to do a little Judge Darling?
Yeah,
Quick
I
one?
do. I absolutely do.
Yeah, I love George Starling. He's picked me every single time, so why wouldn't
Yeah,
I?
I am over on all Judge Darling rulings. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Don't try to manipulate my emotions.
I'm not going to try to manipulate. I'm trying to open up your mind right here, which is the fact that you are the judge in two scenarios that Alex is a competitor, and Alex is undefeated in both scenarios.
He made some strong points. You know, you get your points up, and maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe you don't go out to dinner during our show, and maybe we'll win you some points.
Maybe that's why he went out to dinner.
Can we hold on a second? I was in Florida on vacation, and you have not once, not twice, but 5 times brought up the fact that I was like, "Hey guys, I'm with my family. We're out at dinner. It's taking a lot longer than expected. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm gonna make it." And Jordan's like, "Screw this guy." Right?
You're right, Marty. You're right, Marty. You know what? You know why I'm hard on you?
Why?
You remind me of myself.
Oh.
And I just love you so gosh darn much.
I needed to hear that.
So if I let Alex win all the time,
Hold on.
That's insightful. So if you're letting Alex win, that's really just Jordan beating up on Jordan.
you nailed it, buddy. You nailed it.
When does Jordan get to win?
Yeah, but when is it Jordan's turn?
You know what? I feel like I won when I was born in this great United States of America. I won. And you know what? America is a place. You can go to the Olympics if you put your mind to it. 3 guys and another guy. Curling team. God bless America.
All right, Judge.
Right.
Court is in session.
Court is in session. Today we are going to be disputing the Summer Olympics versus the Winter Olympics.
Sure.
Marty, you will be arguing for the summertime Olympics.
Perfect.
Alex, you will be arguing for the wintertime Olympics. Games, sorry, Olympics. And this is gonna be a tough one. Good luck to you both. Let me just put on my chapstick here. Marty, would you like to go first?
I would love to go first.
Proceed.
Okay, this should be an easy slam dunk victory for me. And if it's not, then it is going to be hard and fast evidence of the Judge Darling love of Alex and the fact that I probably will never win this. First of all, the Summer Olympics viewership in general is almost twice that of the Winter Olympics. And why is that? Well, that's because there's 33% more events at the Summer Olympics than there are at the Winter Olympics. You just, professed your love for being born in America, Judge. Well, let me tell you right now, Americans win more medals at the Summer Olympics. Why? Because we are, as a nation, as a country, are built to win at the Summer Olympics a little bit more than the Winter Olympics. Why? Because the countries like Norway, Germany, Japan even start to dominate a little bit more. Now, do we still come out on top? Yes, we do in medal count, overall medal count. But when we're talking going for the gold, which is all, what America does, if you're not first, you're last, we dominate gold medal performances at the Summer Olympics. Now, if you don't like all these facts and numbers and statistics about us winning, or how much, how many more events are at the Summer Olympics, let's just talk about apparel and clothing. Judge Darling, I'm just going to talk to you about a couple of events, and I just need you to put a picture in your head. Track and field.
Jack and field?
Track and field.
Yes.
Okay. Next image. Swimming. Next image. Beach volleyball.
Yes, I see it.
How are you feeling, Judge?
I'm feeling like this is gonna be a tough one, Marty.
Yeah, I rest my case.
Oh man, oh boy. Woo! Summer Olympics, baby. All right, Alex, go ahead and try.
Have you ever been snowboarding? How awesome is it to snowboard? I mean, like that's at the Winter Olympics. You've got ice hockey. I mean, that's a sport. You want to talk about a sport? Ice hockey, not hard and fast.
I grew up on the ice in Minnesota, man. That's
right. So I mean, it's more fun to watch. You talk about apparel. You want to talk about the apparel? Like how many cool like northern western fleeces do you see in the stands? And the fact that like the figure skating, are you kidding me?
Yes,
the figure skating apparel is like the best thing to look at, like for anybody. You want to talk ski jumping? How in the world do they stay in the air that long?
How do they do that?
And when you talk about the Americas have won more medals in the summer games, it's because they have 33% more events, just like you said. Of course they're gonna have more wins. They have a bigger surface area. Talk about hard and fast. Then you've got Ono, the guy that was like the speed skating guy, Hideo Ono, I think. I don't remember his real name. The biathlon. They give guns. You give the people guns in the biathlon.
Is that winter?
Yeah, that's the winter one. That's the one where they shoot things. So all of those things combined, figure skating, it's way more fun to listen to the Brian Boitano style commentary than it is to listen to some. I once was in the Summer Olympics, and I would have done it just the same way.
What channel are you watching?
It's definitely CBS.
And how can you beat the Miracle on Ice, right?
Seriously. So ice hockey. So
Beat Russia.
I rest my case.
Sure. Just a quick rebuttal, if you don't mind, Judge.
Not at all.
Proceed.
I mean, if you truly do believe in miracles, I'm just going to ask you to picture one more thing. Women's gymnastics.
Yeah, but aren't they like 5 years old? How old do you have to be?
No,
Simone. On how young.
No, the greatest thing, they can go 3-4 Olympics in a row. Simone Biles is on her third Olympics. Good for her.
That's true. She's amazing.
And I will state it right now. The best athlete out of either winter or summer Olympics, hands down, Simone Biles.
Simone
I
Biles
can't-
has been to more Olympics than she's had periods.
All right, that
Wow.
I'm sorry. I
Wow.
thought it. I had to say it.
Objection, Your Honor. I immediately asked you to disbar counsel. That was uncalled for and
I'm
inappropriate.
gonna have to disqualify you, Alex.
What?
I'm sorry, but this win goes to Marty.
What in the performance enhancing drugs?
We do not talk about periods on this show.
You are a fair and honorable judge. Thank you, Judge Darling. And you know what? I did believe in miracles, so thank you.
Yes.
Ice hockey. Ice hockey.
I kind of feel like I won too.
Well, I came in second, so it's just like those events in high school again.
Or the Winter Olympics for the U.S.
33% more.
No, that was a good fight, gentlemen. Nice arguments. What did we learn though from that?
Then I'm inappropriate.
What is the age limit for gymnastics? Like limit like young. Like they can't.
No.
Sometimes
So the Olympics in general do not have age restrictions. So there's actually a 12-year-old competing. I can't remember in what event, but from the U.S., there's a 12-year-old going to compete for United States. A 12-year-old male diver just missed competing, making the Olympic team. He placed third, and you had to place second at the Olympic trials.
wow.
The Chinese typically their female gymnastics competitors are extremely young, like 13, 14 years old.
I thought they got in trouble for that though, or something. Like
No,
yeah. I don't know.
no.
There were a couple of things that I remember what you're talking about, where there were some birth certificates fudged, and there was somebody that was older than they were supposed to be. Like there was something once upon a time. I don't remember how it turned out, and this is not credible whatsoever.
I think you're thinking of Little League Baseball.
I think that's the movie League of Their Own.
Just remember, folks, we are not qualified to be talking about the topics we talk about here.
Any of them.
Mm-mm.
And we are quite aware. So you can send your emails to martywadsworth@gmail.com.
That would probably work, wouldn't it?
I'm pretty sure that Alex is the only one with a PO box. So can we direct that traffic flow to his box?
222041.
There we go.
You just might get a gift in return.
Nice.
Do we get to play Two Truths and a Lie?
We haven't done that, and we didn't do Play It Forward. Those are the last two things we have before we go, or we can just cut it. It's up to you guys.
We can save the play it forward for next time
Okay.
and just close it out with the little two truths.
Love it.
My first job was working with the Olympics. I was an all-state football tight end my junior year of high school. In soccer, my only goal was an own goal.
So I 100% believe own goal. I also do believe that you worked the Atlanta Games as a youngster. That would have put you at 13, though. So that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to say that's a lie. I'm going to say you didn't work the Atlanta Games as a 13-year-old.
You grew up in Bama, so you had to have played football. So it's for me, it's between the soccer and the Olympics thing. And Marty kind of tipped me towards the Olympics. I'd say that's a lie.
My mom would not sign off on the football stuff, so I wrestled instead.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the lie. She was also a part of the Olympic report for the Atlanta radio stations, and we had a bus that followed behind the torch. So as a 13/14-year-old, I was able to get a work permit and sell merchandise, little Izzy's, across Atlanta and Birmingham.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the own goal is true. How depressing.
I didn't doubt that for a second.
Not a second.
I mean,
Not
it's
one
interesting
second.
that it's your only goal.
It still was a goal. We won the game. We still won the game. But
Despite Alex.
yeah, in spite of me. Despite of me. Come on. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
I'm going to keep mine simple. We're sticking with the sports theme here. Very, very simple. I played 3 varsity sports in high school. I played varsity basketball. I played varsity track. I ran varsity track. And I played varsity tennis.
What was the first one?
Basketball. Basketball, track, tennis.
I think you did basketball. I think you did tennis. I bet you didn't do track.
I'm gonna say you didn't do tennis, just to be different.
I never ran varsity track. Never.
But you did do track. You just didn't do.
I did. I didn't make. I had to cut some things loose. I ran the mile and the mile and a half in track.
I did the 400 in indoor track, and I was the one of 2 white guys, so I wasn't last.
Nice.
All right. Let's see. I played hockey in college, freshman year. I lettered in soccer in high school. I played broomball against Team USA.
Is that in Final Fantasy?
What?
Oh, that's like blurk ball. Never mind. Sorry.
No, broomball. Do you know what broomball is?
Yes.
It's like hockey. It's like boot hockey, only you play with a ball, like a kind of a small soccer ball, and like these, not brooms, but they're like sticks that just kind of have a rubber nub at the end.
Okay.
Can you define Team USA?
I can. They were Team USA Blue
For broomball.
for broomball. Yeah.
Alex.
What was the second one again?
I lettered in soccer in high school.
I think that one's a lie.
I don't believe that. So you were on scholarship for hockey your freshman year?
Not scholarship. I just played freshman year
So intramural or for your college?
for my college.
I don't believe that one.
You look down.
What?
Nothing.
Did I look down?
You look down to have your own information. Like instead of just answering the question, you look down to read what the right answer was. You're just supposed to know the answer. Hold on.
I'm not going to answer any more questions.
In college. It was in college. For the team or intramural? 1 second. I wrote down intramural.
You are correct. That is the lie. That is the lie. I did not play hockey in college. You're
God,
right.
I want to play poker against Jordan so bad.
You're not gonna be able to ask him a bunch of questions though.
No, won't I? Won't I?
No. So you don't get it. This is all my strategy. Long con.
The long
Rope a
con.
dope. You
Mhm.
start thinking you know me, and that's when I
Mhm.
get you. That's when I go all freaking in.
Give the man his man.
Yeah.
You beat me.
He bit me. No.
All right, guys, what did you learn? What was their final message?
I learned tonight that if I don't constantly compliment Alex, he gets angry with me. To choose or a lie.
This is true.
I learned that it feels good to let Marty win.
I learned that it's okay to be second.
It's okay to be second.
Mhm.
It is okay to be second.
You know, we are so competitive, and I wonder. Like, I think competition's good, but like, do we ever take it too far? You know, like, do you think that where we take it is can kind of hurt our kids mentally?
As a society, or the three of us?
As a society, I'm not sure how we all three approach.
As a society, I actually would venture the statement that competitiveness has dropped over the last generation or so
Really?
versus where it was before. Yeah.
I just think of maybe what I'm thinking of is like how early parents put their kids in competitive sports and push them, you know.
I think that's more out of fear than competitive nature. Fear of their kids not being able to do anything once they get to the high school level, because high schools today don't let you, be involved in 3 sports simultaneously. You have to pick by age 12 what you're going to do in high school. So if you're saying kind of dwindling down my options of the sports that I play as a young child is going to make it more feasible for me to play a sport in high school competitively, then sure, that's very competitive. I think it's a bad thing though, because you get a less well-rounded individual, or a child that could blossom in another sport at a later age.
All right.
I think it's not about the competitiveness being the bad part about it, because I don't think that's the negative. The negative is not teaching the sportsmanship part of it.
Great point.
That's the part that gets taken and removed, because the adult is usually coaching with ego.
Mm.
And they want to win so badly for their own reputation and their own bragging rights that it's not just for the kids and them learning. And so that's where the competitiveness takes a dive, for it being like applicable to the world, because it's like the Justin Biebers who don't win the new kid on the block trophy, and they go, "Who is Lady Antebellum? I should have won." That's like that's not the way the world works.
Yeah, and it's like you brought up, it's okay to be in second place. It's almost like the thought for the day as we close out for me is kind of like, it's okay to pursue first place, right? To work hard, to have that be a goal, right? But you also have to learn how to accept second place, or whatever place, you leave it all out there, and whatever happens, you're right. Some people can't handle that. That's what we need to learn with the competitiveness is, work hard for that first place. It's good, but be okay.
I mean, just call it the Chris Paul method. Too soon?
Poor guy.
Anything else?
And that's it.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Yay.
See ya. Bye.